There's an intense search for a predator in Brooklyn right now, and we have new surveillance video showing the violence.
Hey everybody, shalom and welcome back to ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ears stay. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and break this down real fast. So the race you just saw at the beginning of this video, that was from the Diamond League circuit of track and fields. That was over in Eugene, and Jamaica went 1, 2, and 3, right? And they dusted out Sha'cari Richardson. But did you know over in Tokyo at the Olympics, Jamaica went 1, 2, 3? I'm trying to tell you that Shelly Ann Frazier, that Elaine Thompson-Herah, and that Shadrika Frederick Jackson, I believe her last name is, they have been dominating the track and field world. There's something I want to read to you briefly over here that, let's see. Jamaica's dominance in the women's 100 meter at the Olympics is mind-blowing, according to Andre Lowe over on Twitter. 10 of the last 12 medals won since 2008. Every single gold since then have been won by Jamaicans. 16 out of 30 medals since 1984 have also went to Jamaican women. Dominate, okay? Dominate, all right? So with that being said, you guys know of the great Merlene Ottey, Veronica Campbell. There's so many great Jamaican sprinters. If you want to cross over to the men and mention Usain Bolt, Johan, I can't remember his last name, but he trained with Usain Bolt. And then there's the Michael Bolton, Otto Bolton or something like that. He's the commentator with Richardson, the lady Richardson. Sonia Richardson is her name, y'all. They commentate for the most part the American track and field sports events. So these people are very, very, very fast, very talented. And what I want to talk about here is not to be hyping up the Jamaicans, but hard work and determination does pay off. And in Sha'cari Richardson's situation, hype, this just, getting on Twitter and stuff like that, bragging, may have, cost her this race. We really don't know how Tokyo would have turned out, because we know she suffered some demise in Tokyo, and we're going to talk about that a little later. Or for her Tokyo trials, we'll talk about that a little later. Right now, we want to give the Jamaicans their prop where props are due. They are going 1, 2, 3. Can you imagine how fast these girls have to be? Well, if you don't know, that Elaine Thompson-Herah, she ran an astounding 10.54 seconds, y'all. This lady is fast, and she's on the heels of taking down some of our infamous FloJo records. So you guys let me know what you think about that, and we'll go ahead and move right on into Miss Sha'cari Richardson, who I think had a pretty rough year emotionally during these whole Olympic trials and world champions and other circuits such as the Diamond League, where, our athletes get to get out there and perform their best. Unfortunately for Sha'cari, she has some setbacks, and we'll talk about those as soon as I return. So we all know Sha'cari Richardson is America's sweetheart. Let's not act like she's not, okay? But we also know America, just like the eagle, like to throw their nest out into the world at 1 year and 2 years and 3 years old, right? It's like sink or swim. And unfortunately, sometimes the pressure, the backlash, the response from other people who you think are supposed to be supportive and love you just because can be the most detrimental, heartbreaking backlash. All right, so that would be backlashing, cruel, reprimanding people we ever known, right? People in America can be so vicious, wicked, demonic, and evil. Like the news reporter was. If you guys don't know the story, she's training, out on the circuit, getting ready for the Olympics, and then someone comes and tell her her biological mother passes away. That was cruel. That was inhumane. That was wicked and demonic. That was a distraction. Because remember, when you look around the world, Black athletes was lining up to take everything this Tokyo season. And then, it started with Sha'cari. It snowballed over into Simone Biles. And then, for the love of God, I told Tokyo against the big three of Jamaica: Sha'cari Jackson, Shelly Ann Frazier, and Elaine Thompson-Herod, right? So we don't know how she would have did, but they smoked her, dust her. And like I said, when hype goes wrong is when you're out here talking a lot of mess and you're out here, just looking good, sounding good, everybody hyping you up. I don't know what's wrong with America and its people, but we should have handled her a little differently, with a little bit more care. You know what I'm saying? So let me just interject here and say this. Sha'cari is a baby compared to Elaine, Shelly Ann, and Shredrika when it comes to racing. And as she grows, and hopefully under the right care, and right guidance, and grow into her womanhood, she will become that seasoned racer, that sprinter, that runner, and that track star, right, that she wants to be. Just not running to the wrong side of life, the wrong things in life, the negativity, the wickedness, the demonicness, and all of that goes with the hype in this world, especially in America. I just wanted to say that, guys. She was up against three powerhouses, not to mention the rest of the field were powerhouses, okay? I'm going to link the entire video so that you can see it down below. And I'll link some statistics and things about, maybe biographies or just Wikipedia. Shelly Ann Frazier Price, Shredrika Jackson, and Elaine Thompson-Herod, like Herah. All right. So, yeah, she has a long way to go, but she can get there with the right people supporting her. So if you're going to support Sha'cari, don't do it in a way where most of us enable our children to self-destruct and self-sabotage, but do it in a way where she can reach her FloJo expectations in life if that's her heart's desire. All right, and encourage her spiritually. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. And who knows where she's going to end up, because she still has a lot of life left in her. If she didn't let this get to her psyche and break her down mentally, she still can come back and set goals for herself and break records and do what she want to do and carry out the FloJo, spirit of track and field, if that's what she want to do. But in the meantime, she's up against a threefold cord that's not easily broken. anybody up against the Jamaicans, such as Sha'cari Richardson or anybody else for that matter, have their work cut out for them. So my advice would be to Sha'cari is no longer sit around and talk junk on Twitter. Baby, while you was talking junk and hyping up and smoking your weed or doing whatever you was doing here, them girls was preparing. You hear me? They was studying you. They was out there training, working hard, encouraging one another, being a team player. And that's something I suggest you do. And with that being said, y'all, I want to go ahead, now that we know Sha'cari Richardson took a beat down in this last race here and throughout her early track and field career, because it really just got started. She's no more than, I don't know, how old is she? 18, 19 years old, if that? You guys do the research. I just wanted to talk about when hype goes wrong. To give you the best backdrop I can, Sha'cari Richardson is a young woman, made it a professional in track and field, and what goes up eventually must come down. But the way we come down, it could be in honor or it can be in disgrace. And let's just not hope that's her legacy for what we see so far in Sha'cari Richardson, right? And as far as her not wanting to greet or congratulate or say thank you for this race and be a good competitor, she walked completely out the stadium without even saying bye to anybody. I mean, I understand you being in your fifis, but who fault is that? Give props where props are due. And maybe the next time you go to race, can you imagine what you're going to go through the next 4 years until the Olympics come around again? So, girl, take advice from wise older women in your community, from people around you. I will fall back off of Twitter and things of that nature just to keep your mental strong. I will get into whatever books you need to get into and whatever training you need to get into to teach you how to control your attitude and be more professional and more celebratory of other people's successes. I mean, we all want to win, but when it comes to the Olympics, there's only 1, 2, and 3. And unfortunately, you didn't make it in Tokyo and you didn't make it in Eugene. So with that being said, the beatdown that Sha'cari has taken in life want to kind of progress me and move me into the next story, which is the young lady down in Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg, being assaulted by this man right here.
There's an intense search for a predator in Brooklyn right now, and we have new surveillance video showing the violent...
And I'll tell you what it's all about when I come back. But again, when we talk about beatdowns and situations and people putting their hands on each other, is it right for anybody to put their hands on anybody? Considering the situation we're about to talk about right now, was it right for the woman to smack the man after he groped her? Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and we'll come back with the rest of the commentary. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary. Thank you. All right, so where do you want to start with, the guy or the girl? First of all, let me just say, keep your damn hands to yourself, all right? Unfortunately, we got some very immature, self-righteous black men in general in this world, period, that think they're entitled to a woman's body and can control a woman's body, such as the white men in Congress and government that likes to dictate to a female what she can and cannot do to her body, right? Or with her own body. And it's disgusting, okay? Because that is not being free at all. Not able to walk down the street without another human being coming up behind you and groping you. How disgusting, right? So the guy did it, okay? I have to say this, guys. I'm sure there was a police officer on every corner damn near in Brooklyn. And if not, it's probably because of the police reform and all of this other stuff that's going on in the heart of COVID, right? Or I should say here in New York State. It's disgusting, y'all. I can't sit here and make no excuse for this man. How I would have reacted to it probably was to dial 911, walk slowly behind him, track him, dip in and out of stores so he ain't know I was on him. But to take my physical hand and smack the shit out of him, I'd have second guessed that or thought twice about that. If I had a weapon, I'm not a harmful person, but I would have took my chance shooting him or stabbing him than walking up to him and smacking him in his face. It gave him the right to respond back, and he did by beating her down. And it's not right. It's not right for either one of them to put their hands on one another. But defending the woman, yes, I'm going to do that here. But still be real about it. Like, sis, you could have called your homeboys, dialed 911, shouted out for help. But to take it upon yourself, being alone, granted, your rights have been violated. I would have went home with a little grope coochie and not a bruised face and swelling and everything else he did to you. This is just me. I would have took the groping over the beatdown. Some people are different. Some women have testosterone in them and react just as quick as men do. Not that there's a difference because, Lilith proved to y'all in that Garden of Eden what she can do to Adam, right? And I'm not making fun of it, but it's a story we're commentating on, guys. And if I was that woman, I would not have swung back on that man. If he had the audacity to grope my cooch, ain't no telling what he'd have did to me after I'd have tried to defend myself. So I had to think fast, which I normally do. Never been in that situation. I've been in clubs where, guys rub up against you acting like they going to the bar. I mean, for every time somebody did that, my face probably be beat down and bruised up too. But I can tell you a story. I remember being my 18th birthday damn near. And shout out to you, Floyd. And I remember Floyd kept wanting to dance with me in Savoyas. Now, I'm like, shit, I barely could get in the damn bar. I used to sneak in there before I turned 18. Now I'm finally allowed to be in here, right? And I tell you no lie, just turning 18, just could finally make it in the bar legal, okay? And in there dancing, a little tipsy. I was drunk, okay? And enjoying myself. My brother was in there, family, friends, everybody was in there, right? And he kept tugging on me to dance with me. Because for those of you who don't know, I can dance, right? And all of a sudden, he grabbed me, right? And I just couldn't take it no more. I took that red kitten heel crisscross strap shoe off with the buckles on the side. I just slid it up my foot and commenced to beating the shit out of that man, okay? And got into a fight with him. Like, yeah, so maybe if I'd have got groped by this stranger, like I said, in the middle of New York City, in the midst of a pandemic, he could have had COVID. I'm not going to run up on this man. He could have Delta. I am not going to run up on this man. He could have got the vaccination. And that make people crazy and delusional in their mind that they can come down the street and grope a woman. I would not have approached him that way. Would I have found a way to validate myself and get justice? Yeah, I'd have been taking pictures of his clothes. I'd have been shooting it up on FaceTime. I'd have been most people record and things of that nature. Like, she was walking down the street, so she would not have known or been able to record him groping her. But the minute he did it, pull your phone out in attempt, to make this man think you getting help some way, some form, some shape, somehow. So it's a sad, sad, sad situation for this woman, for Sha'cari, for Floyd, and myself. There's things in my own personal life that's been trying to beat me down, y'all, such as with the way the housing market is and the laws where people can't get evicted because of non-payment, and then there's other laws out where the landlord, that certain cities and boroughs within the state of New York is getting government to force landlords to fix properties and stuff. So I am in limbo. I'm just hanging. I can't find a place. Let me say I haven't found a place up to now. I will find a place, and by the grace of God, it's going to come when it needs to come, and right on time, in God's timing, right? So we got to be careful what we say, but there's a lot of things trying to beat us down in life, and the allergies I've developed over the last 4 years, just things, life in general. So we have to fight, but we have to pick and choose our battles carefully. And in the case of Sha'cari Richardson, the battle I would choose is to defeat my own inner demons, whatever she's going with internally. I would just try to, seek the right guidance and counsel and help to help me work through whatever I'm dealing with internally, so that I can begin to shine externally and probably whoop those Jamaicans' ass in the next Olympics, okay? And then, as far as this young lady, again, pick and choose your battles wisely. You want to defend yourself. You want to, I don't know who recorded that and how it got recorded. Maybe store footage, a local store maybe, in the area of where it happened, probably recorded the footage. But that's not the way I want to be seen or go viral. Not to say she intentionally went viral that way and wanted that to happen to her. That's not what I'm saying. But freak accidents, strange things happen. And this woman was groped. Unwanted, unwarranted, unsolicited. She didn't ask for that and didn't deserve it. But I would choose my battles a little bit carefully with a crazy man like that, doing stuff like that. There's no telling if he had a gun or he had a knife, or if he would have stomped her out to her death. So the message I want you guys is pick and choose your battles wisely. We're all going to be faced with some things in life. We don't know if we're going to win the race or not, but we know we don't want to hype up it too much. We want to be humble and stay under the Almighty, if that's what we believe, and let Him exalt us in due time. Because when you start bragging and boasting and being prideful, there's a warning before destruction. So, you have to be mindful of these well-known teachings and doctrines that are out here that apply to people in their everyday life, right? And then with the young lady, it's like, my God, how do you really fight a lunatic, a demon? Because that's what the dude was. Anybody that violates a person, period, is a demon. Which leads me into Brother Pedialyte. We're going to call him Brother Pedialyte, and we're going to call his mentor Dr. Pediasure, okay? And tomorrow we're going to get into this whole Scented Sunday thing, and maybe I'll come back later on and do a little bit of it, but Brother Pedialyte got a lot of stuff going on in the news himself, and we're going to talk about it on the next video. So if you're interested in commentary like this, please thumbs up this video, like this video, Subscribe to this channel for the love of God. And those returning too, because you'll watch a video and then you'll forget to subscribe. But those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Hit that notification bell so you know when I go live, upload, and or premiere in the future. And like I said, look forward to tomorrow because we are going to get into Brother Poe Pedialyte and his mentor, Dr. Pediashore York. Let me know what you would do about Sha'cari's situation. Let me know what you do about this young lady in Brooklyn and her situation. Let me know what you would do about the young man and how you would have handled that as well. Let me know how humble you are in this world, knowing that you don't have to prove anything to anybody but your creator, such as God, right? And yourself. And then, you want to be provable and presentable to your family and those that look up to you, right? So it's a chain reaction. And unfortunately, when he groped her, it led her and caused her to react by slapping him. And when she slapped him, it caused that chain reaction for him to then stomp her and punch her out. And when Floyd groped me, it caused my brother, or led to a chain reaction of my brother picking me up, carrying me outside the bar, and body slamming me with one hand on the ground. Talk about a beatdown. My 18th birthday, child, and ever since then, I've been choosing my battles wisely. Vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. Sometimes you just gotta tell a man no, and if he can't respect that, you may have to whoop his butt. At least that's what I did. But in this woman's case, it wasn't like that, y'all, all right? Now, I hear the streets caught up with him. I hear he got that beat down he deserved. But I still would like to see the brother in the court of law. And that's something I wasn't able to find any real court records. Everything I was Googling and trying to research just kept pulling up the story and videos. So I hope this was informative enough for you guys. Please, somewhere around this big old poofy maroon hair, which is so beautiful and soft. I love Outre, y'all. It's just, anyway, that's a wig. That's a brand of wigs. This is not sponsored yet. But let me know what you think about this whole entire situation when it comes to beat down. What's beating you down in life? How do you overcome it? How do you handle it? How do you hype yourself up in life? And how do you pick yourself back up when that hype fails you and brings you down and causes you to come like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in a race of maybe, just say 7th in a field of maybe 7 or 8 good runners and the track stars. That's what they are, baby. They are runners and they are track stars. And in life, we have the ability and the right to walk down any street we want to without being groped. So should America work on its laws, or should America work on the hearts of its people by just letting the truth be out there, letting the realness of the Bible be revealed to the people so they can begin to change and work on the darkness that's within them? And that's all I have to give right now. Hit the box, the cute face down below here somewhere. Shalom, you guys. God bless you, and may he lift up his face upon you, be gracious unto you, bless you, keep you, let his countenance rest on you, and also let his shalom peace be in you. I think that's what this world is missing. Peace. Because if that man was at peace with himself, his relationships, whatever, he wouldn't be out here taking advantage of women the way he did. And if Sha'cari was at peace in herself, there's no reason to be out here hyping up the race. I mean, that's part of the game, but talking junk on Twitter and social media, being degrading to other countries and other runners and things of that nature, guys. Let me know. I'll talk to you later. Shalom.
System, down to the fans, my family, my coach, y'all all are in there. I represent you guys. So, like I said, don't take today as an L for us because we're not going nowhere.
Behind L to W.
What? Okay. Okay.
Any more races for you this season?
Oh, definitely. There probably a couple, but yeah, we can't finish like this.
Yeah.